Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for joining us today. We've got a lot to get into. We're going to preview the Syracuse Orangemen today, Bob. Looking forward to that matchup. Be here sooner than what we think.
Yeah.
We're also going to go over a little bit on our giveaway that we're doing, our little contest that we'll be giving for this right here. We'll get a little bit more into that in a moment, as well as our new sign behind us. We want to definitely get into that a little bit, Bob. But if you permit me just for a moment, I like to get on my soapbox, and I'm not going to say preach, but I'm going to whine a little bit probably.
Okay.
I just come back from Illinois. Was me and my youngest son went up and surprised my oldest. He's up there. His girlfriend goes to the university, and she's actually in Panama right now doing a some research, and he hates it up there. You know, I ain't gonna lie, he hates it. He didn't get to come down this year, so we went up to surprise him for the 4th, and so I was in Big Ten country, Bob.
Right.
You know, glorious Big Ten country. And let me tell you right now, let me give a little public service announcement to Champaign, Illinois, and you know, the university actually sits partially in Champaign, partially in Urbana, and particularly for Urbana, I would let you know that if you're a councilman, potholes are not historic markers. Just because they were there when Lincoln was there, you don't have to keep them.
That's bad if it's worse than Tennessee, because it seems like Tennessee is
Bob,
bad.
there's nothing in comparison. Let me tell you right
Really?
now, the last time I saw roads, paved roads that looked like that, it was a video of what happened after the U.S. Air Force dropped bombs on Afghan airfields.
That's pretty bad.
I've never seen anything like it in my life.
Yeah.
So for the if you're a councilman up there or whatever, one piece of advice: fill it up, pave it, move 18 inches, fill up the next one,
Right.
and after a couple of thousand, and you kind of got it halfway under control, go to your water treatment plant, work on it so they don't have to boil water. You don't have to tell the people to boil water so they can drink it. So, anyway, back to God's country. Left Big Ten country, come back to Big Orange country. Can't say I've ever been happier, other than leaving my boy.
Right.
But yeah, that was bad.
Okay. All right.
So anyway, Bob, what do you want to start at? Do you want to talk about it?
Let's do our signs.
I'll let you talk about it, Bob.
All right. We're going to give this away to one lucky subscriber who hits the notification bell and leaves a comment in one of our videos. We started the contest last video, and we'll do it for 3 more after this one. And that's all you got to do. Be a subscriber, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment. Any comment. It could just be Go Big Orange, or it could be a detailed comment, and we enjoy that. I mean, we enjoy all the comments and people talking about that video or their thoughts about Tennessee. We love talking about Tennessee football. So just throw whatever out there. We love to talk about it.
Exactly. Now, Bob, let's jump into this.
Yeah, we got a new sign. We love it. Looks great.
I hope it shows up good on the videos. It does in person. I don't know if it will.
It does. It looks great in person. There's a lot you can do with this. And I'll kind of tinker with it a little bit here, maybe. But you can change
color of the lights.
Change the lights. I mean, you can
hook it up to like play Rocky Top, and
right.
the lights will flash to the beat and change colors.
I mean, there's all kinds of stuff to do.
And many different things you can do with the lights.
But yeah, and that's optional. You can get it a little smaller than this from the guy that we're going to mention about Scott French. You can get it a little smaller. You can get it with the lights, without the lights.
And you can get other things. That's not the only thing.
Oh, yeah, he makes others too. So, I mean, check him out. We'll leave his phone number and a link to his Facebook page in the description. So check out
check it out.
Scott French. He does a fantastic job.
Yeah. And if you decide to get one, let him know you saw it here.
Yeah, we appreciate that. That way, at least he knows we helped him out a little bit. All right, let's get into, I guess, Syracuse, Tim.
Right. The Orangemen were pretty good when they had Jim Brown. But nah,
Yeah, right.
they were pretty good last
I
year.
mean,
Actually, they had
yeah,
to get wins.
yeah, and I think their coach last year was what, Fran Brand, I believe.
Fran Brown, his first year, and had a heck of a first year.
He did. I mean, I'm sure they're pumped about that season they had. I mean, it was very surprising. They wasn't supposed to be as good as they was last year, and it was primarily off of a really good offense and primarily a really good passing offense.
Yeah, well, they brought in McCord.
Kyle McCord from
Kyle
Ohio
McCord.
State.
He led the country in passing yards, if I remember
Yeah,
correctly.
I mean, and honestly, when you look at some stats of their team, you're like, how did they win as many games they did last year? I mean, their
They found a way.
their defense wasn't good, and they wasn't able to run the ball very well. I mean, that's if you can't if you got a bad defense, there was 96 in the country in scoring defense, and only ran the ball for 3.1 yards per carry. That's a recipe for about 7, 8 losses, generally speaking. So now, I guess if you're a Syracuse fan, you're wanting to say, well, just think about it. If we get a good defense together and a more balanced attack, and we'll be
Hard to deal with.
hard to deal with. That may or may not be true. That's, they're going to look through orange glasses, I guess.
And we do all the time.
We do too, uh, but yeah, okay.
Let's go into this year's offense. I mean, their team though, Bob. They lost that Kyle McCord, who was a star for them.
And not only they lose McCord, they lost their starting running back Allen, their top 3 wide receivers, and one of them was a transfer. I forget where he went to, Pena, but maybe Texas, I think. But that was a huge loss for them.
What about their tight end? He's gone, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He had 70.
70 something catches. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
gone too. And they don't. And they bring in some transfers. But their primary guys was on the team. Looks like they're going to be their starters. Last year was Justice Simmons and Darrell Gill. Neither one. Gill done decent. I think had 20 something catches last year.
Yeah, and he's kind of a big guy, 6'3".
Yeah, I think Simmons is not a small guy either. I think he may be 6'2" as well. They're really looking to a guy named Jonte Cook, which is a transfer from Texas, who,
Well, via
from Washington.
former 5-star.
Yeah.
Maybe the most talented kid on the team.
Head case.
It may be, yeah. He's had 16 catches at Texas.
And just
I
about as
think
many
he got an
yards.
arrest. Yeah, I think he had an arrest, yes. And in fall transfer portal, he went to the Washington Huskies, where he was summarily dismissed by springtime.
Yeah.
Kicked off the team, and he's on his 3rd shot and maybe his last shot. So if he gets his head out of his rear end,
And sometimes they do. I mean,
they do sometimes.
Look at Randy Moss. I mean, Moss, it took him 3 places before he got his head out of his rear end.
Yeah, and when you got that kind of talent and you're able to do it, then watch out. I mean,
Right.
I don't think anyone dismisses his ability.
Right.
It's just been his maturity.
But let's look at the guy who's going to be throwing. They lost Kyle McCord. They bring in Ricky Collins from LSU, and he was the starter leaving spring ball. And then in the spring portal, and a lot of Tennessee fans know about that spring portal because we was very active in that. They get Steve Angeli. I know some Tennessee fans probably remember that name because he was kind of semi-linked to us at one point there from Notre Dame, and that appears to be their starter. So looked like they're going to have a good starting quarterback. But when you lose your top 3 wide receivers, 4 offensive linemen, your running back.
And like I said, tight end that caught 73 balls. That's impressive.
Yeah, he's going to need a lot of help.
He is. Now, Bob, we know all about trying to run and get stuff out of the portal. We didn't have the greatest year as we have had. I mean, I think we've got some help out of it.
We did.
But, if I'm Syracuse, their offensive line wasn't that good last year. I'm probably going to be thinking that we may have done better. Because I know we lost 4 offensive linemen, and we're sitting here thinking we may be better.
And they might have. I mean, they lost. They even actually had several leave the program, but not most of them wasn't playing. But they, most of them transferred down. But You know, they did get Cam Pringle from South Carolina.
That's a former 5-star right there.
Yeah. Now, I'm not sure he transfers there because of playing time, or was he overrated? I mean, you hear different
It
things.
could be a lot of things.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you just got to get to a different environment. I will say this: South Carolina has absolutely recruited offensive tackles very well the last 2 or 3 seasons.
Yeah.
That's not if you're not quite living up to expectations or not quite ready, because sometimes you're not ready to do that junior year.
Yeah.
You know,
Right. Oh, yeah.
um,
We've
then you
seen
can get passed up.
Yeah.
Because they have recruited well.
Uh, you know, they got probably going to move him to right tackle. That's spot they'll try to shoot for him for. They get a guy, T.J. Ferguson. According to some of the portal rankings, has him fairly highly rated. But
Yeah, 247 had him as the 15th interior offensive lineman. And just for record, I mean, they had Pendleton and Moy both ranked below him.
I will say I don't find those things very accurate because Ferguson was battling for a starting job on Florida State's team, and uh, on a bad offensive line. So I'm not sure where some of these rankings come from.
A lot of times it's an extenuation of their high school rankings. What
Yeah,
we
a
hope.
lot of it is.
Yeah, what we hope this guy could be.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is. So that's a lot on their offense.
Yeah. And they got a kid out of Alabama, I think, and another one out of North Carolina, one out of Boston College.
Beltran from Alabama now, but he wasn't in there too deep. So from the beginning, too deep, from what I could tell. So I wonder how good their offensive line is now. When you listen to the Orangeman podcast out there, they worry. That's the thing they worry most about is their offensive line. So and that's good news for us.
Oh yeah, I enjoy it anytime someone worries about their offensive line when we play.
And I don't know if I mentioned this already or not, but they only averaged 3.1 yards per carry last
Yeah,
year.
you did, and that's pretty anemic.
Yeah, that's bad. How in the world they was able to do as well as they did, only averaging 3.1 yards
Well, I
per
mean, they
carry.
had to have a dynamic passing attack. I mean, obviously, and Fran Brown is, brought in something that caught the rest of the ACC off guard.
More good news for Tennessee was the fact that they was 96th in the country on scoring defense and 112th in allowing over 5 yards per carry. Now they did go in the portal and get some help there. Got a guy from Boston College. They felt really good about. A couple other guys that's come in. They've added some beef there.
Yeah, they beefed up the interior of that defensive line, which probably will help the run.
Yeah, they feel like they got
defense.
better run defense, which they better because Tennessee runs the ball pretty good, and I really feel like that's with a new quarterback, whoever it is, we will be.
We're going to run the ball.
We're going to run the ball. That's our preferred method of going down the field if we can at all.
Even during the 21-22 seasons when Hendon Hooker was throwing the ball all over the field, we were running the ball all over the field.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, oh, Tennessee passes all the time. No, we run more than we pass.
Yeah, I mean, we're perfectly fine with just running it every play and scoring. I mean, that way. I mean, but now they did lose their top pass rusher, Fidel Diggs, a guy who transferred from Texas A&M. Texas A&M, if that name sounds familiar, he was pretty good for them. Pretty highly rated kid coming out of high school, if I remember correctly. He was by far their best pass rusher last year, and so it looks like to me, based off portal additions and listening to Syracuse podcast, they will be better against the run. May not be as good a pass rushing team as it was last year. I know their linebackers look to be pretty good. They did lose 3 starters in the secondary, though. That wasn't very good anyway. So,
yeah, sometimes you lose a lot and you think, well,
yeah,
I'm fine with that.
Right.
Yeah,
but they didn't seem to get a lot of portal addition there, a lot of portal help. So that may be a problem for them there.
it could be, but I will say this: that they're recruiting a little better the last year or two. I think Fran Brown's first year, he brought in 35 guys. Huge.
and one of them was a 5-star wide receiver. And
Well, that's for this year, right?
I think it was
Was that
last
last year too?
year. Yeah, I think so. It was last year.
Okay, but yeah, so I'm sure they have some younger guys that's, um, some of which are ready to move into roles.
Yeah, you know, but I don't know. I mean, he had a great year last year, first year. So I'm sure the boosters probably, throwing some cash at him. So, and that's probably good for the future.
Oh
But I
yeah.
really wonder how that's going to do come first game next season. You know what I mean? I mean, in my opinion, Fran Brown hit a little bit of lightning in the bottle there, what they say sometimes. But I really question how good this team will be next year. I really think they're going
Well,
to
a lot of people are having them coming back to earth a little bit, Bob. I know.
about 6-6 top team probably.
Yeah, well, maybe not. I
Their
don't know
team,
how
their
much.
schedule's a little harder this year too.
I know FanDuel's been having us around a 2 touchdown favorite in the ball. For a team that won 10 games last year, it's a kind of being a big dog right off the bat.
Well, when I was sitting here thinking about this game, right now, you know, I was thinking 17 points. So we're up to be at
You know what?
14.
I think it was 17 before we lost Nico.
No, well,
I think it
that
dropped
makes sense.
down to like 13 and a half, 14 and a half. I've not looked at it in a little while.
Right.
So, and I would say that's probably accurate because although they did have 10 wins last year, counting the bowl game,
Hmm.
um, they did have some other issues where they were not, particularly good at,
Right.
which I'm sure, they're doing their best to improve those weaknesses this
Yeah.
year. But um, I think they'll find out real quick that playing we would if we were on that weak ACC schedule last year, uh, they'd recognize us real quick.
Yes. Yeah, sure would have. Um, do you know, you have any kind of score prediction for this game? Which we'll hit this game again a few days before the actual game. We'll talk about, you know, any injury situations.
Yeah, for both teams.
Right.
We'll know more about Joey or Merkelinger or even, George McIntyre.
And we'll have a better feel about their team. Are they a position? Is there a position that say they thought was going to be a strong suit that's a weakness, or vice versa, kind of thing? So we'll dig deep into that one right before the game and have a little bit better feel.
Well, here, the 1st of July, I'm going to say, feeling fairly cocky. I'll go 38-13.
Okay, that's something about what I was thinking. I'm thinking 17 points, so I'm not really sure what our offense will get to, but
I'm not sure either, but I think our defense is going to set our offense up in some pretty good positions.
yeah,
I don't expect much, if any, drop off on the defensive side of the ball.
I really don't either. I think they're going to have a hard time scoring those.
Agreed. So, guys, we do appreciate you joining us today. Uh,
Remember the contest.
remember the contest.
Yeah.
It's got a little stand to put on, or you can hang it
Yeah.
from the wall, either one, and come every time you go into your man cave, you can hit that thing. And if you want something for your man cave, like I said, we will link this right here um, up in the comments, or not comments, I'm sorry, in the description.
Right.
We'll leave a link for it, and give the guy a look at his stuff.
It's good stuff.
He's got some nice looking things, and if you want a little something, send a little business his way. That'd be fantastic.
Yes.
Bob, is there anything other to add other than the real big orange is going to take it to Syracuse in a few
I
weeks?
think that's it, man. I think so. Go Vols.
Go Vols.